Welcome to MMT Chats. This episode brought to you by ISCAR, with new ideas for machining intelligently. Welcome to the MMT studio. I'm Christina Fugis with MoldMaking Technology, and today my guests are Tom Barr with TK Molds and Kim Conis with the American Mold Builders Association. And Tom is also a board member, that's why he's here. And we're here to talk about 50 years. Woo! I said silver and gold because we're 25. Silver and gold. So I guess we need to start off by talking about that. What is happening this year? How are you celebrating?
How are we celebrating? We have a series of different events happening. So at trade shows, we've been doing receptions, which we did at Plastech West, and then we did here yesterday.
Yep.
We've got a lot of special activities that are going to activities that are going to happen at the conference coming up in May in Grand Rapids. Okay. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And some,
are they secret?
Yes, I'm not going to say, but it's going to be fun. Let me tell you, there'll be some special celebrations in that. We've had some special copy, some different things going on in the magazines, hopefully in your magazine, working with you guys as well, and some promotions and some publicity, 50th logo, and just special things happening throughout the year. Everywhere we are, we plan to celebrate.
And it's a great milestone.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, being in the industry and being a member?
Well, I think it's pretty awesome because I'm a third generation mold maker. Okay. So my grandfather started out in 1947. So I mean, but to have an organization that supported an industry for 50 years has been awesome. So to me, it's been nothing but a benefit in the 9 years I've been on since I've joined the AMBA. It's been terrific. So I'm excited about the next chapter. Yeah, well, maybe not just me, but maybe the next generation. So yeah, it's awesome.
What would you say, and we'll start with Kim, what would you say is the biggest change in 50 years of AMBA?
Well, I think it goes hand in hand, but I want to say the sharing of knowledge, I think, has grown immensely, and with that, benchmarking. So
Data,
and being able to benchmark against your peers, and the openness to do so for the community as a whole to grow and then to impact the industry. I think, and I've only been with the AMBA for 11 years, but when I look back at the history and some of the things that they were doing, I think that excites me the most. Yep. And I think that's one of the biggest changes is that openness to share the knowledge. Because the plant tour event, we initiated that in 2011 when we took it on, and then we launched it at the first conference in Grand Rapids, that concept, and it just took off flying, and it is still to this day. And
everybody was surprised, right?
Yes.
When that started happening, and then that makes other shops want to open up. But it was a different concept.
It was a different concept, and that idea that people would be willing to do that, and that it's not only the members coming in, the mold builders that are coming into the plant tour event, but the host and what they get out of that. It's been an amazing exchange.
In that same theme too, I noticed over the years, even the conference, in terms of opening up, the conference used to be kind of like what we would put on, technology suppliers educating the mold builders.
Right.
And then when you guys took it over, it started to become these round tables when the sharing is happening among, I've been privy to conversations amongst the mold builders that I'm like, wow, like they're having true, honest discussions about, wait, you do it that way? Oh my gosh, I never thought about doing it that way. And you do this, and you hire that, you pay this, you offer that.
Right.
It's a wonderful open exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
Among your competition.
Yes, speak to that because
for those sessions that we have are amazing, because really it is sharing best practices and the willingness of people to open up about how they do their process and all that stuff. It's been great. So even for us, because we have a younger workforce at TK, it's so much more benefit to have them go talk to their peers and become members of the Emerging Leaders program that the AMBA is putting on. It's actually helped us speed up their growth as mold makers, and it also shows them what the industry is too. That was the whole goal last year for me to bring. I brought eight of my apprentices.
The whole crew.
I had a whole table full, So I you know what, the sacrifice we made to do it was paid off tenfold down the road, and they still talk about it. So this year we're trying to figure out how many more we can bring and what we can do.
Can you imagine all the shops doing that?
Right. Oh, they nonstop talk about it. They really felt like they are part of something, and that's really what this next generation wants. They want to be included. So the AMBA has opened the door for all that kind of progress for us as tool shop owners. So it's been great.
So for the amount of time you've been active in the AMBA, outside of you winning the award in 2022, you can't say that. What has been your favorite memory?
I would say that, that's what I was going to say, because you know what, the opportunity to have some of my apprentices and emerging leaders at that conference, I'm sorry, that was like a highlight for me. And I would challenge other shop owners or managers to do the same, because you know what, when you see them mixing it up with other peers of theirs and find out that they're not the only one with that problem, or here's a solution.
Yep.
That you can't find that anywhere else. So that to me, I know that wasn't the answer you wanted because that's an easy one, but to me that is the answer. That gets your people involved, show them what the industry has to offer, and also hang out with some pretty cool people.
Yeah.
You know,
What I also think for the young ones, it's showing them they're not alone. Like, there's more of me.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's really happening. There's younger people coming into this little critical niche of manufacturing.
Right.
How about you, Kim? You've been longer, so what's your...
Well, that's a hard one because that was such a pivotal moment last year, and it is one of my favorite moments as well. And we say the young ones, our emerging leaders group is 40 and under. So it's not so young. There's middle management who came up from maybe starting on the floor, and now they're in supervisory roles, but they have not gotten trained on those skills and to learn that. And many times the business owners don't have time to do that. They're training them on how, on the technical side of things, and not on those soft skills and those professional development skills. And this is our succession. These are our future leaders, even if they're just team lead, supervisor, you name it. And there's a lot of middle management that also falls under this group, so it's helping to develop the workforce. When we say workforce development, it's more than recruiting, because that's a struggle.
Exactly.
And that's a hard one, although we are working on some things to help impact that as well. But where AMBA really shines is to help provide the resources to develop the current workforce, because you have to keep the workforce. Right? If you're having trouble getting them in, you better damn well be able to keep your workforce.
Exactly.
Right? So.
Oh, totally. This is a good. Go ahead.
Well, that is a part, though, the retention part. Why we only got one mic here? We got to up our game here. We'd probably be talking over each other if we didn't have the talking stick. But to me, the retention part is huge. Okay, we've spent through our apprenticeship program. By the time they get through a 5-year stint at TK Mold, now they're really starting to work on their own in that. So, but I want to make sure they keep TK in their forefront, that they want to go to the next level at TK. I don't want them to start looking around. So this is, to me, again, the investment we made is a step in the retention part too. I really believe that the retention is going to be a thing. Now that you put all that effort into them, now you got to really keep them, and you have to
really
keep them engaged. It's important.
In building on that culture, that's exciting to me, because culture in the past by many, and those that have been maybe more seasoned, or like culture, touchy-feely culture. Really, that is not what it's about. And if you aren't looking at your own culture within your organization and becoming a best place to work, because what do you think? People go home, they're happy in their job, they're telling their friends, I love my job.
And what do you do?
Really? Referrals. It is the lowest hanging fruit. And to keep, not only to retain, but to build the workforce and to bring people in your organization. So it's starting to catch on.
I love that.
Yes.
So I guess that kind of applies to my last question, is looking at the next 50 years, I'm assuming everything you're talking about is part of the next strategy. Is working on those aspects, right?
Yes.
Talent development, retention.
Yes, emerging leaders. Growing the emerging leaders network is huge, and in talent development, workforce, all those things that you said. But Tom, do you want to speak to a little bit about the other aspect of it, and that is continuing to identify and help our members to grow their operations, and I don't mean employee-wise, but to become more skilled, adept, to bring in, automate. I'm going to let Tom.
Yeah, so part of, as the AMBA board right now, we're in the strategic planning for the next 3 years.
Okay.
Because we recognize that this trade is moving faster than say 5 years.
5-year plan.
Like,
That doesn't happen.
yeah.
I agree.
So now we're on a 3-year plan. So we really formed some committees, and we're working on what's our process for that. What's our attack plan for the next 3 years? And I tell you, the workforce development is huge, right? So, and then trying to get them to that next level. So, again, you'd behoove yourself to bring at least one person, maybe 2 people to the conference and see what's going on, because once you engage them, it's going to be hard for them not to want to be involved. So
I agree. And with like you said, the technology and how much it's advancing,
yeah.
should it be exciting to them?
Yeah,
too?
you know, and they're so good with it.
Yep.
And I say the young emerging leaders are so good with this stuff, and we just have to give them a voice. You have to have them feel engaged, and that's and the culture thing. You know, to Kim's other point, a lot of people talk about culture, but really, I mean, really. You go to these conferences, you talk what culture is all about, and you find out like, I could probably be doing more, you know, and that's what I love about some of the speakers that, you know, Kim, Troy, and Susan and Rachel they always have top-notch speakers lined up, and by the time you're out of there, you're fired up. You might be a little hungover, but you're fired up and ready to go.
You are.
When you're completely recharged your battery and you're ready to go and tackle it again. So
yeah, I love it.
I
mean, to me, that's why I love the AMBA so much. I mean, maybe my dad's generation, my grandfather's generation wouldn't have shared as much. It's amazing the amount of sharing that goes on. That's
it really is, and that's only going to get better and better and better, because the younger ones seem to be more open to that.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of them don't know the old.
Yeah, they don't.
Closed off.
No, they're
Keep
tired.
it-
They're
keep it
tired
close
of
to
those.
your
They're
best
tired
way,
of those
right?
stories anyway.
Exactly.
So you gotta move on. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty
thank
awesome.
you both.
Thank
and
you.
happy anniversary.
Thank
Well, hey,
you.
thanks.
All right. And
Thank
for
you very
everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com.